You have said, you're quoted as saying that somehow you began to feel somewhat that the forces were against you, in a sense. I mean, did you...
Well, we just didn't get it right. We had the opportunities were there, and we got caught. And it didn't hang together, but we got it together now.
All right, but stay with me, though. Let me explore this, because there is something, I think, for people to say, what happened when you were on such a roll that you began to hit the rough patch?
Right.
What did it do to you, and what did it cause you to question, and how did you come out of it?
Well, first of all, I'm immune, because I've now got a young team.
I know.
They do all the work, you know, and I'm very supportive, and I worry for them, but I don't really worry.
Well, Stanley Druckenmiller and people like that have gotten all the credit.
But they took all the pain,
right.
Because, you know, managing money the way we do is extremely painful. A very responsible job and very stressful. And I don't actually feel the stress. If I did, I probably wouldn't be able to sit here and talk to you. So that's number one.
You don't feel the stress anymore because it's not your judgments that are on the line?
I'm not on the line. Right. They are on the line, and I'm just stand behind them. I'm coach,
right.
And they are performing. It's
right.
You know,
you're the coach and Stanley's the quarterback. Is that
right? So of course I'm involved, you know, you constantly re-examine what you're doing wrong, and you slowly you tentatively get things right. But you can't really get the dynamic going until you have a little profit under your belt, because it's very different when you're risking your principal than when you're risking your profit. So that's how you get these runs, when you get it right, and then you can risk more and make more money. When you have lost it, when you are doing poorly, you've got to retrench. And even as you get it right, you don't get the performance until you can do it on a larger scale, because risking your profit, you see, is much easier.
It's less terrifying than risking your principal.
Yeah, I mean, the reason we have such a good record is because we never lose our principal. Once we are in a bad position, we retrench. So we might lose a little bit, but we'll never endanger
because you leverage well.
That's right. We deleverage when we are not making money.
You stop leveraging. I assume that's what deleveraging means.
Yeah.
But in the sterling coup, which would not coup, in the investment there, where you captured the attention of the world and certainly the Bank of England.
Right.
Did you put $10 billion at risk or not?
Yes.
Now, was that all profit, or was that principal?
Well, it was our principal, but it was not all at risk, because the most we could have lost would have been, let's say, 2-3%, because there was no. It was a high reward, low risk bet.
Right.
You know, but if it had gone wrong, we would have had the transaction cost of undoing it. Right. Whereas if we got it right, we made something like 15-20%. So we did put all our equity at risk, but it wasn't, it wasn't really very much of an excellent. You weren't
risking $10 billion. You were risking $1 billion or
less, even less.
Even less.
No, substantially less. Yeah. We made $1 billion, but we made more than $1 billion actually. But we could have lost a few $100 million, which would have been perfectly acceptable.